Yo, what up? I'm Mountain NEACE, and I climbed this mountain without any gear. I'm like Alex Honnold, but I did it first. I free soloed it to tell you that you need to sign up for the League of Legends Bootcamp at BOOTCAMP.LOL. It's going to be on November 1st. Also, if you're a PPTimo and you watch my stuff without supporting it by clicking the like button or the share button or the bells, then I hope you have a bad day. Oh, well, we'll do it like this. If you lose, 100% your fault. Very rarely, if you lose, is it someone else's fault. Should carry. Low agency. Don't play this. All right, let's do this. You will never climb if you don't subscribe. You'll never get any girlfriends. Get out. Get out, PPTimos. Never come here again, PPTimos. Let's start at the top. Aatrox. I would say if you lose, it's your fault. Agree? Ari should carry. Most of the time, because you can actually solo kill your lane. If you lose, 100% your fault, Akali. So long as you're playing like a Conqueror, like a beefy playstyle. Alistar. Low agency. Borderline low agency should carry. Because you can roam a lot, but like, I'd say low agency. Amumu. If you lose, 100% your fault. Should carry. I think should carry on Amumu. I don't think he's like completely like Giga 1v9 necessarily. Anivia should carry. Could be 100% lose your fault, maybe, if you're really... I'd say should carry. Annie should carry. Aphelios. Pretty low agency. Ashe. Pretty low agency. Aurelion Sol. Should carry. Azir. I would argue pretty low agency. Bard. Should carry, actually. This guy can do a lot. And you can build him damage if you get fed. Blitzcrank. He can't put any gold on him. Brand. Should carry. Rom. Don't play this. Caitlyn. I would say should carry just because if you know, she can bully lanes really hard. You guys getting the flow here? Camille, if you lose, it's your fault. Cassiopeia should carry. Cho'Gath should carry. Corki. Pretty low agency, but I still think should carry. Darius, if you lose, 100% your fault. Diana. If you lose and low elo, 100% your fault. She doesn't have a ton of kill potential in lane. Draven. Should carry. It's still ADC. Mundo. Should carry. Echo. If you lose with Echo, 100% your fault. Elise. Should carry. This is for low elo. Evelyn. I feel like if you lose with Evelyn, it's still your fault. Ezreal, I think is a should carry. I think he carries really hard, but he's also like, I don't know. I think he maybe better chance in a solo lane, but we'll just assume. Fiddle should carry. Fiora, it's your fault if you lose. Like, you can bitch about your teams in any of these, but like, you really should be winning these most of the time. Fizz should carry. Galio should carry. GP should carry. Garen, if you lose, it's your fault. Nar should carry. Gragas. If you lose with Graves, it's your fault. If you lose with Gwen, it's probably your fault. If you lose with Hecarim, it's your fault. Heimerdinger should carry. Alawi, if you lose with Alawi, it's probably your fault. Aurelia, if you lose, it's your fault. Ivern's pretty low agency. Janna actually should carry, in my opinion. Jarvan, if you lose current state after Gore Drinker nerfs, maybe he drops down a bit. Jax, if you lose, it's your fault. Jace, you should carry. It's not as good as these, though. Jhin. This is pretty low agency, actually, Jhin. Jinx should carry. Kai'Sa should carry. Callista, I mean, if you're good, I guess. Karma should carry. Karthus should carry. I don't know about Kassadin, but I feel like it's your fault if you lose. Just because games drag so often that most of the time it's going to be your fault sometime. Katarina should carry. Or it should be 100% your fault if you lose. Kale, probably 100% your fault if you lose, just because you always get the late game. Kane, 100% your fault if you lose. Kennen, if played right, 100% your fault. Kha'Zix, 100% your fault if you lose. Kindred, 100% your fault if you lose. Khaled, probably your fault if you lose. Kog'Maw, pretty low agency. LeBlanc should carry. Lee Sin and low elo, ooh, depends. If you build Gore Drinker, this is okay. Leona should carry. I think this is a should carry. Maybe with like a tanky style, it's 100% your fault. Lysandra should carry. Lucian should carry. Because you have good level 2s. Lulu should carry. Lux should carry. Malphite should carry. Malzar should carry. Maokai. Oh, if Maokai and Alistar kind of fall into the same. I don't know how to judge these. Well, Garen's just too good in low elo. It's been proven time and time again. If you're good at E and you're losing, it's your fault. Mordekaiser's on the line, but he's still pretty good. If you lose with Nasus, it's probably your fault. Morgana should carry. Nami's pretty low agency, I think. Nautilus pretty low agency. Nico solid. Nidalee, I mean, should carry, but only if you're good. Nocturne. You can lose some games on Nocturne because you're kind of ult dependent. This is a list. Sorry, I mean a protein bar. This is a list based around low elo. Is Olaf 100% your fault if you lose? Here's a bit of a toss-up. I honestly think if you're losing with Pantheon and low elo, it's your fault. This might change depending on the Gore Drinker changes. The Gore Drinker change is gonna fucking ruin this guy, though. Rengar? Oh, James, hire Oryx. He's really good at Riven. Or, yeah, hire Oryx. Riven's 100% your fault if you lose. Rumble should carry. Ryze should carry. Samira should... Samira has at least... Yeah, she does. Because Samira's got, like, a lot of resets and flashy executes and shit that can get her going. I view Seraphine as pretty low agency or should carry. I mean, her scaling's pretty good. Set, if you lost, it's your fault. Shaco is actually your fault if you lose. Like 100%. This champion is crazy. Shen should carry. Shyvana should carry. Sin should carry. Low agency basically means that your champion doesn't have a lot of say in the outcome of the game. This actually might be this. Nah. I mean, he gets... He's a... Kog'Maw, yeah, low agency. How are you gonna get fed on Kog'Maw? How are you gonna get XP on him? By yourself. When these guys get ahead of you, how are you gonna stop them? Sylas is like your fault if you lose, I think, in most low elo games, because you get fed so often. Syndra should carry. Tom Kench, I don't think he's like 1v9. I think he's really annoying in lane, but that's about it. Talon's definitely your fault if you lose. Don't play this. Teemo is almost S tier now with the buff when that goes through. Tristana looks pretty good to me. Tryndamere, if you lose, your fault. TF should carry. Twitch should carry. Udyr should carry. Urgot. He's pretty immobile. I don't like putting him at the tippy top. I would honestly bump Mordekaiser down. Now I think about it. Varus is pretty low agency, I think. Vayne is actually like about your fault, but not quite. Veigar should carry just by good wave clear. Vel'Koz, same thing. Viego, your fault if you lose. Victor's pretty low agency, but scales well. Vi, Vlad, and low elo. You might go there. Oliver should carry. Warwick should carry. Actually, if you play him top, he's up here. We'll just assume jungle for now. Wukong, if you lose, it's your fault. Xayah, if you lose... she's pretty low agency, actually. Xerath should carry. Xin Zhao, it's your fault if you lose. Yasuo, it's your fault if you use. Yone, it's definitely your fault if you lose. Yasuo is like a weird one, though, because he's kind of niche, almost. He still feels broken to me. Yorick should carry. Yuumi, don't play this. Oh, Sona should be dropped down, too. Zach should carry. Zed should carry. Ziggs should carry. Zillion is actually pretty good with gold, so yeah. Zyra, Akshan, and Vex. Is this just for low elo? Yeah, so... all right, let me explain this list so everybody understands what's going on and why I put what I put where I put it. Let's talk about this. So this is low elo. So this is elos, iron to platinum. Okay? Iron to platinum. This is my tier list. All right, ready? I'm gonna explain this. So every single one of these champions basically can 1v9 in some capacity. Okay? In the sense that they can deal with each other in most cases. All right? They can mostly deal with each other in some way or another. Or they have some sort of win con that other champions don't have. Whether it be scaling, the cheese factor, level 2s. All these things are factored in. Okay? You will notice that there's a lot of bruisers in here. Yes, but there's also stuff that's a little nuanced, right? There's stuff like Kassadin, who in most low elo games, if the game drags, which it often does, he just kind of wins, right? And if you're a good Kassadin, you can win a lot of lanes too. So it's fine. Akali, it's another one with like a Conqueror build and a beefier playstyle. You can just 1v9 a game with this champion, right? A lot of these Echo, yeah, he's squishy, but he can take up a ton of space and ult out. Evelyn, yeah, she's squishy, but she can deal with all these other champions pretty well. Right? She can get fed enough to literally remove them. Gwen, you can't really dive Gwen when... you can't kill Gwen when she gets ahead, can you? It's like impossible. So what you're thinking about are champions that just become these either uncontrollable stat sticks or have some sort of win con that makes them really, really tough to deal with later in the game. So, or just like I said, the cheese factor. Tristan is a prime example. Yeah, she's an ADC, but she wins like every lane she's in bot lane if she knows what she's doing. Right? She just cheeses. Shaco's got a crazy good open that allows him to get on the map, and he's also got pretty good scaling right now that allow him to just deal with all the problems that the rest of this list. Pantheon's like mega cheese, but can snowball a game and pretty much just end it on his own. But if you go down the list, you start getting into funky picks that don't, like, once the game drags on at a certain point, they can't do it alone, right? They need a team to do stuff. They can't just themselves walk. Like, Heimerdinger can't just walk down mid and just challenge the entire enemy team and run away from them safely, right? And you'll see that theme with a lot of these champions. Either they fall off too hard to where they're relevant, or they don't have the capability to like get in there and take up a ton of space. There's gonna be some close calls in here, stuff like Diana, stuff like Amumu. But when you think about Amumu, you don't really think, oh my god, this champion's like a god tier scaler necessarily. Diana, you might think, oh, she scales really well. Yeah, she scales really well, but can she get there reliably? I'm not entirely sure that she can in a lot of matchups. And then again, can she deal with the upper list when they're ahead? I would say a lot of them, no. She actually just loses to them, right? If Tryndamere and Diana get in a fight, Tryndamere wins, right? Jax and Diana get in a fight, Fiora and Diana, you see what I'm saying? So it's like, they're good. They're good for what they're trying to do, but they don't always carry, you know? And that's what I'm trying to say. So then if you look at, when I'm saying should carry, I'm saying by all accounts, most of your losses are going to be your fault, but there's going to be some losses that get away from you that you'll probably have, you'll probably be able to actually say, ah, damn, team, right? You might be able to actually say that. I'm not saying that you should, but I'm just saying that, like, I like these types of champions because you can blame yourself more than your teammates, right? When I play these champions and I lose, I go, oh, man, it's kind of my fault for playing this shit. You see what I mean? If you go to my streams, I'm almost always playing one of these, right? The reason why is because I know that if I lose, yeah, my team might suck, but like, there's something I could have adjusted. Itemization, stuff like that. I probably could have changed that outcome quite a bit because you just have more tools to carry. It's just what it is, right? So just think about that. And then the low agency list, these are champions that are like, they don't have a reliable way to carry games, even if they have good cheeses. So it's not like you take Alistar, you get a big lead, and then you 1v9 the game yourself. It's not really how it works. I mean, maybe you could build some sort of tanky bruiser type of thing with him. Maybe I'm misrepresenting, but you get my idea. It's like none of these champions kits like give them tools to reliably carry games. Like even Azir, this champion that's got like giga late game or whatever, he doesn't carry as hard as say like a Kassadin's late game, right? He doesn't carry as hard as say a Diana's late game. Azir has to go into the back line and like do some dumb shit to ever make a play, and he's not that great at 1v9 in games. He could still get bursted. So it's not great. Stuff like Ashe and Jhin, while they're cool utility, it's kind of low agency because again, all these champions in this list can fuck you up so easily if they get fed. And that's something to remember, that a ton of these champions will absolutely destroy you even if you're fed. I'm talking from the XP disparities. Same with like Kog'Maw. So it's pretty low agency, these. And then I say don't play these unless you have duos. Don't play these unless you have duos. Because like you can't engage with any of the, you can't do anything with any of these. Soraka even has more agency than these because Soraka has a global. Soraka has like, she can like poke out a lane really hard. This shit, not so much. So yeah, that's my list. That's what I've come up with. I think I've done a good job on this one. What do you guys think? Yeah? You guys like my list or no? This is again, iron to platinum. I want you guys to look at this list and remember it. Remember what I said. A lot of your champions are fine. All right? But ask yourself, can I reliably get fed in a game? Right? Can I reliably get a lead in a game? Or is my scaling so insanely good that as long as I drag a game, I'll probably win it? You know, there's a couple of like maybes. Maybe I could adjust to. Like Kale, maybe he's a little ambitious. But I don't know. Based on like high elo results, some Kale's been showing up lately. But I think it's a solid list. So just remember, some of these champs, you know, are good, solid, but you might lose some because you just can't deal with these problems, right? Remember these problems. Fed Kennen, good God, right? Fed Wukong, Jesus Christ. Fed Nasus, Jesus Christ. Pantheon's running the game over at 15 minutes. He's just ulting everywhere. Jesus, right? A lot of this stuff is like, how do I deal with these problems? Then they become really tough to deal with. They start crowding out the rest of the pool really fast, and that's when you know that they belong up here. Right? When you can't do anything without sending 5 people to stop Alawi. It's a problem. It's like, it's not comparable. You don't need 5 people to kill Ezreal. You don't need 5 people to kill Nocturne. You guys feel me?